This is the Bullseye Podcast.
We are going international. The downloads, Lithuania, Denmark. I'm going to start wearing wooden shoes to celebrate. This is Bullseye on the Bullseye Network, on the one and only Bullseye Podcast, on the Bullseye frequency of your life.
Everybody wants you. Everybody wants your love.
And what is happening?
Hey, you're a star. You're an international star.
I got to start booking the. I guess Is there anything happening in Lithuania? Because I'll go. There must be fun though.
Wooden shoes? You're really into it, huh? You're wearing the wooden shoes?
Well, to get an audience, I'll do whatever it takes. Remember, you remember what Howard Stern used to do?
Yeah.
I'll go beyond.
Right. Okay, cool.
You know what I'm saying?
What's going on?
Yeah,
I hear you.
We are starting yet another episode of the Bullseye Podcast, and something we started on the last episode called the Bullseye Top 100. Hit it!
This is the Bullseye Top 100.
Yes, the Bullseye Top 100, and today one of my favorites, and I know, one thing about you know a lot about certain things. What?
Okay,
we're still trying to figure
that. Trying to find out what those things are. Right?
One of those things or players is Thurman Munson.
Oh yeah.
Thurman means a lot to you. Go ahead. Opine about Thurman, please.
Well, he was the best catcher in the 70s. I grew up with him when I was 10. I loved him from his first game on, and I thought he got a bum rap not being voted into the Hall of Fame. They had the latest veterans thing. He did not get in with that either.
It's never too late.
So I don't know what that
it's never too late. But
yeah.
You do have to create a stink. And does he get any votes at all?
Well, I advocated for Thurman. I was on Facebook. I was on the committee. I tried to help get him in. I had some great arguments. No one really could refute what I was saying, and he didn't even come close. I think they had like 70s guys like Rod Carew and George Brett, and like 20 riders, players from the 70s and 80s. I don't know, some new thing they had, and he got like out of 22 votes, he got like three votes. So I don't get it.
Obviously, people. Well, they didn't have the emotion of the Yankees. So they're dealing from a whole other level, which is this basic number. Now, I loved Thurman. I loved the way he caught, the way he threw the ball sidearm, and remember that big with Sparky Anderson had that big conflict when he said, "Don't compare anybody to Johnny Bench."
Oh yeah, he hit him with a hit him with an underhanded comment when Thurman was coming into the press conference, which was actually Thurman at that point was surpassing Bench. Remember, Bench didn't have too many great years in those middle 70s that Munson excelled in. So Munson passed, in my mind, he passed Bench. So I think Sparky was a little defensive, so he's a little insecure with the statement. Thurman got a little teed off on it. And I think that's like you said. I think you called it. The lifetime numbers aren't there because, he died in a plane crash, played the 10 years that you need to get in. And he didn't have those crazy, 500 homers, 1,500 RBIs. He didn't have those kind of numbers.
He didn't have any record years. He just had, I'm looking at it, 69, he was a rookie.
He was a real rookie in 70.
70 was a rookie, right? Yeah. He had 453 at-bats. Batting average of 302. It was good.
Yeah. No, he was solid. He was very solid. He was a leader of the team. He was a great defensive catcher. And, to me, he was better than Fisk. Fisk was it was him or Fisk. That was the best catchers of the 70s. I thought he was better than Fisk. Never injured, played every game.
Yeah, listen to these batting averages. 1970, 302. 1971, 251. 1972, 280. 1973. So he played with Horace Clark and everybody, right, for a while?
Yeah, he was in the era. He
Then
played he paid his dues.
73 hits 301. 74, 316. What kind of team did they have in 74? I don't remember.
They were coming up. They were coming up. Yeah. They were like second or third placers. You know, they weren't as good as the Orioles back then.
When did Steinbrenner buy the Yankees?
73. 73, the 73 season, yeah.
So then,
and that's when they turned around. That's when they turned it around. Yeah.
It's 316 and 74. He hits 366. No, that's the wrong.
No,
I'm sorry,
that must be like on base.
318. I'm sorry, 318.
Yeah, right.
Then he hits 302 in 76. A year they go to the World Series. Right. That's a. Forget the home runs and the doubles. Yeah, we didn't get into that. Hit 105 RBIs. He had over 100 RBIs 3 times. 77, he had 100 RBIs. He had 308. Then in 78, he was 332, and 79 when he was killed. 297, I'm sorry. And then when he passed in 288 in the plane crash, he was hitting 288, in 1979.
Yeah, solid, totally solid, you know. And back then, the numbers weren't as inflated as after. Don't forget, there was no steroids back then. So his numbers were, he was up there with the numbers compared to the times. But when you're the best catcher in your era, I think you got to be in the Hall of Fame, especially when you win Rookie of the Year, you win MVP, you win the World Series, like you win everything. You're All-Star, your Golden Gloves. What didn't he win? He did everything he was supposed to do.
So was he
leader of the team, the first captain since Lou Gehrig? Yeah, it's like, give me a break. How could you not have him in?
What'd you think? Right? What'd you think of Carlton Fisk? We hated him, right?
Well, I hated him at the time. Yeah, I hated him. He hated the way he looked.
Funny about this, I still hate him for why I have no idea, but that's what I do. I hold grudges.
The whole style. He had that weird. I don't know. Of course, I respected his play because he was, a great catcher. But I just didn't like his style. Plus, he was the Red Sox. If you're a Yankee fan in the '70s, you hated the Red Sox, and to this day, I still don't like them. I don't know what it is. I liked Stremski, and I respected Fred Lynn, and those kind of guys. Sure,
we liked Fred Lynn.
But as a team, you had to like Fred Lynn. Jim Ryan.
Here's some catchers of the '70s. All right, we got Thurman. So I want you to know how you rate Thurman amongst these. Okay, ready? You got Munson. You got Fisk. You got Gary Carter. You got Ted Simmons.
Right. He was great later in the 80s, I think. But in the 70s, I think he was just coming up, right? Like around the mid-70s. Okay. I think he was just... So in the 70s, I go Munson over him.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at these names, and Munson's up there. There's bench, so everyone puts bench at that pinnacle, right? He's the pinnacle, right?
Yeah, he was the pinnacle. Right. Overall, you got to put him ahead of Munson overall, even though the Yankees, I'm sure, would maybe not have traded Munson for bench, I bet. Like in 76, do you think they would have traded Munson for bench? That was up?
Well, you mean after he became the captain? That would have never happened.
Yeah, right? He's captain, yeah. But they've traded bench after the 77 World Series to get bench, do you think? Would that even been possible?
I don't think those teams in those days did that. There was commitments to their stars. Have you ever seen a star swap? No, I haven't seen it.
I would have rather had Munson back then than bench. Yeah, but bench overall. Of course.
Right. How about Ted Simmons? No I used to like Ted Simmons. He was good. He had the.
He was very good. Yeah, I think he's Hall of Fame. He was comparable to Munson. I think they were close. Stat wise, and
he had the long hair.
70s.
Remember that?
In the 70s, I go Munson. I'd rather have Munson on my team in his prime. It was close. That would be a close comparison.
Bob Boone. Bob Boone, father of
Bob Boone.
Plays for the Phillies.
Yeah, he was good.
I only remember Bob Boone. He used to scrunch down so low, like you couldn't see him when he caught. And then
he like Manny Sanguine, right?
Bob Boone. Yeah. He was like he got real low, and he wore. Remember, he used to wear a different kind of face mask or something. Who knows?
Like the helmet backwards.
Right, Darryl Porter. He was one of my favorites. I used to like
good.
him. Kansas. I hated him when they played the Yankees, but he was good.
Yeah, right. He was good. Not a
here's
Munson,
my
but
man, Gino Tenace, Gene Tennis.
Wow.
But
he was on the championship team.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good backstop.
No, he was
batting
no
average
Munson.
light, right?
He was no Munson.
He was no Munson. They had a lot of good catchers back then. I didn't realize now you're
All right, here
naming
we
them
go.
all.
I know. Here we go. Ready? Manny Sanguian, who was he was in that Pittsburgh mix,
National
right?
League.
Yeah, he was in that
League,
Pittsburgh.
yeah.
They all hit off the front foot. I remember the Pittsburgh Pirates in those days. They all had that Clemente. They turned that front foot, and they all hit off the front foot. I know these things.
He had the good hitting. Yeah, they had the good hitting, and he was a solid catcher. Definitely.
Bill Freehan. I remember he couldn't run. He was the
60.
slowest.
Right. Yeah.
he ran like he had cement shoes, Bill Freehan.
He was a big dude.
All right, so now we're going to
catcher.
Now we're going to go to the New York comparison. Jerry Grody or Thurman Munson? Wow.
Oh, well, Grody couldn't hit the ball good. He couldn't hit, but he was a great catcher, so you got to go Munson over him just on the overall. Catching defensively is probably close. If you want to give Grody a tiny bit over,
you're saying
maybe,
Grody could not hit? Is this what you're telling me?
No,
Grody
I don't think he could hit. You check. Go ahead. You have the intern going on. I'm talking 215.
Where's the intern?
I'm talking low.
We have an intern.
I'm talking low numbers.
Do we have an intern?
I could get one, but
it's kind of too late. The show started.
Go ahead.
All right, we're in midstream here. Jerry
intern,
Grody.
Get over here.
The legend
the
of
intern's
Jerry
in the other room. Forget the
Grody.
intern.
I remember how he used to I just remember the way he used to look. I mean, with the baggy uniform with the sideburns.
Do you remember this? Yeah, he was number 15 too, right? He had the 15.
He had number 15.
He had that that crouchy look.
He got a couple. He actually got a couple of big hits, and I was watching it on SNY during the quarantine against the Orioles. He got a couple of big hits in that World Series.
Okay. No, it was good. He was good. You know what he would do if you remember? Remember after the last out, and he always threw the ball on the other side of the mound where the pitcher was coming, so he had to walk further for it.
And I remember he used to throw the
Yeah.
ball real hard back to the pitcher, Remember, he would
did he?
snap
Okay.
it. All right, I got
Yeah,
Joe
I never watched
Ferguson.
Met games,
Here's
so
one. Here's one of my favorites of all time.
Cool.
Ready? Milt May. Remember Milt May?
Yeah, I
Played for
remember
the Tigers.
Milt May. Yeah, I never really paid a lot of attention to him.
You know this guy, Ed Herman, played for the Yankees. Didn't he for a while, Ed Herman?
Yeah, he was a lefty. Wasn't he a lefty batter? I think he was a lefty batter.
He was a lefty batter.
Weird,
See, now,
this was
right. These were the players that came after Munson now, right? Ed Herman.
Maybe a little after it, right? He was okay, right? He was like, he did the job, I'll call it, right? His defensive was okay. Ed Herman. I never heard of him since you actually said it, since 1978.
Well, Thurman won the Gold Glove in 73 and 75, All-Star 71, 73, and 78, through 78. So he was 5 years in a row. Munson.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course. He was, he was great. I mean, you're selling my point for the Hall of Fame, Plus, he dies tragically. He's a family guy. He's a good guy. He's respected. Steinbrenner loves him. I mean, everybody, it's like, come on. Like, how's he not in? I still can't get over it.
Even Billy Martin loved him. Even Billy
again.
Martin loved him.
Martin loved him. Jackson respected him. Everybody loved him. And he was going back and forth in that plane to spend time with his family. So unfortunately, he wasn't too great of a pilot. I think he rushed it too much. And man, I was devastated when that happened. That's for sure.
Yeah,
when he died.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Was he as good as Butch Weiniger? Remember Butch Weiniger?
He was
pretty good, actually.
Yanks, right?
Came to the Yankees.
Came in the 80s. Yeah.
Played for the Twins.
He was a good hitter. Yeah, he was okay, right? He was, but when Munson died, it didn't have the same effect. Any catcher after him, like Rick Serrano, just didn't have the same feel to it. It didn't work. It took like 10 years. I'd say 10 or 15 years to get over that.
Do you remember the World Series when they lost to the Dodgers? And was it 80? Right? They lost to the Dodgers with Cerrone was the catcher and Winfield was on the team, right?
Yep.
And they had that in their back pocket, right? They gave that World Series away, I think, right?
They were up, right? Weren't they up in that? They were up 2-0.
That's when Steinbrenner was ragging on Winfield for not being, clutch. He wasn't
right. That was that strike year, wasn't it? When they didn't play the full year, it was like it was one of those strange years, I think, wasn't it? When only played 100 games.
That's why we needed an intern because
now
you're
81.
overwhelming me, and I only have one computer.
Yeah.
And
that might have been 81. I'm sorry. I think that was 81. But when Munson died, it wasn't the same even for me as a fan. I didn't have the same love. I lost. I actually lost that much. I just didn't have the same. I mean, I was rooting for him, but it wasn't the same feeling. It was like a different team.
You mean Cliff Johnson didn't do it for you, huh? Heathcliff.
That's right. He was a backup catcher, right?
He was the worst.
Yeah.
Did you Cliff? Did he got a couple of big home runs? I remember his helmet used to always come off. Every time he swung, his helmet flew off.
Yeah. He had the big swing and miss, right? Where the helmet would come off and he'd like spin around.
Cliff Johnson.
Heathcliff, yeah, he was a good guy, right? I think that was his thing. Everyone liked Heathcliff, you know. Who else?
Yeah, that was one of the other ones.
You're bringing me back in time here.
I know. This is what the show's about now. This is what we do. We bring. What was your opinion of Jorge Posada? You know, you were
I like Jorge. Yeah, I like that whole era.
I don't know why he annoyed me for some reason. I just
because of what he was inconsistent. Or what was it about?
My father used to. My father used to get on his nerves.
Really? Even though he was Italian, I would think
no, he's not
Italian.
He's Spanish. He's Spanish.
He's Spanish.
No,
that's right.
It wasn't the point. It's just
right.
that Posada, for some reason, I remember he got a couple of big hits, but a lot of them.
Was it because of the way his batting stance was or something? Or the way he,
Hey,
really?
look, who am I to say? He was part of the great team.
Hey, you know what? He had
seasons,
some numbers, though. He had some power.
5-time All-Star, 100,000 career RBIs. I mean, he's actually better than Munson.
He got better.
Because he
got better on the defense.
This would have been Munson numbers. Munson would probably have these numbers. 273 average. 1,600 hits.
Yeah. Well, I liked Jorge. You know, I think he was solid. You know, I know what you mean. Though he was the kind of like he would annoy you sometimes for some reason. You know, don't know why, but I mean, he won 4 or 5 rings. You know?
Well, who could you say? I mean, I don't know if you're going to remember this, but if all the catchers, and this is probably somebody that you're not going to say, has won 3 batting titles in their first 6 years as a catcher.
He won 3 batting titles in his first 6 years.
Who won 3 batting titles in his first 6 years in the league as a catcher in the American League? Not in the 70s.
Are you going back in time?
No. This is 90s.
Oh, Piazza.
No,
Mike Piazza?
No, not the. No. Yeah, it's Joe Mauer.
Oh,
Joe
that's
Mauer.
Right. Yeah. He had some huge numbers, right?
Yeah.
360s and like that. Yeah, right. Yeah, he was very good. Yes, but he was Minnesota, right? So you didn't really. He was like
nobody knew.
You didn't really hear about him.
Joe Torre, of course, was a catcher. That's right. Came up.
He batted 363 that one year, led the league, which was really wild.
He was a third baseman
as a kid, I'm like, what? You know.
Right.
Yeah, I think he was third, and he went to catcher, then third, and that's right. He was really good, right? His numbers were real solid.
Joe Torre, really
in the Hall of Fame.
MVP.
Is he in the Hall? You know?
No.
Wow.
Why don't we do a joint Joe Torre, Thurman Munson, get him in?
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. He's got to be in as a manager. What are we talking about? He's got to be in.
I don't know. I mean, manager, playing career combination. I mean, how could he not be in?
He's got to be in.
Career
He's got to be in.
Guy.
Let's take a drive up to Cooperstown. We'll wear a mask and we'll go around and we'll check on all these things.
Is Cooperstown open? Can you do that?
I don't know.
I don't even know if it's...
it's in New York now. It's probably closed. It's in New York.
That's bad. That's bad.
Why don't I just go online? Hey, remember Lance Parrish? He was a good catcher.
He was a power hitter, right? Wasn't he a power hitter?
19 years he played in
wow, okay.
299 home runs.
Wow. Well, that's the thing. You play 19 years, you get those lifetime stats. You know, then you got a shot of getting into the Hall of Fame. That's the whole thing now. Lifetime numbers.
991 fielding percentage. 6-time Silver Slugger Award, and won 3 Gold Gloves. Hey. Here's one we forget about. Ivan Rodriguez, very good catcher.
Oh, well, you're talking, now we're getting into the 2000s. So, yeah, he was one of the top catchers ever, right? When you look at the power plus the
he almost
defense.
had 3,000 hits. Now, did he make the Hall of Fame? Do we know? We don't know that.
He had to probably make it. He had to make
21 seasons between 6 teams. Rodriguez has 311. We need an interview with a New York Post writer or something. We got to get somebody on the phone. Help us out.
Yeah, that'd be good, right? Let's work on that. Yeah.
We got to get Bloomberg first.
You really want Bloomberg?
I want him. I want him. I want to interview him. I want to ask him the questions. I need to know. Yogi Berra.
One of these times, I'd lsee to plug him in and see if he answers the phone. Wouldn't that be funny if we're live with him on?
Bloomberg, yes.
Yeah, right.
He was a hip dude, Bloomberg. He had the mustache and the sideburns.
He had the long hair and everything. Yeah, he'd be fun to talk to, actually. You know? He's a pretty
all right, so now you got to compare Thurman to Yogi Berra. I don't think we can we do that? I mean,
well, Thurman was in the Bill Dickey, Thurman, Dickey, Berra, Elson, Howard, Munson. He was in that, one after another. Yogi was probably the best catcher ever. So
15 consecutive All-Star appearances, won 3 MVP awards, was part of 10 World Series championships. That's as a player. Berra was 285 career hitter, drove in 1,500 RBIs, and he had 358 home runs in 18 seasons.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's got him and Bench, I think, will be the top 2 catchers ever, Their stats are actually pretty close. It's almost like they're tied. Look at their lifetime stats next to each other. So, yeah. I mean, you can't compare Berra and Munson. His lifetime numbers are just too good.
Now here's a Yankee catcher that does not get enough accolades. I guess people is Elston Howard. First African American to make the Bronx Bombers roster. Right, big.
Yeah, he was solid. But again, he doesn't have those lifetime numbers.
279, 730. No RBI, 733. He struck out 786 times. I guess that's a lot. He won four-time World Series champion. Went to the All-Star game 12 times. That's not too shabby.
No. He was a solid defense. So yeah, I mean everyone loved Ellie Howard. He was the first base coach, right?
Yeah, he was the first, and he's the guy who broke up the fight between Reggie and Billy Martin.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's one of the good guys. Yeah. He's one of my favorites. Yankees got lucky with catchers throughout their history. Ever since Bill Dickey, they've had good catchers.
And you don't realize how great Mike Piazza was, right? How great
Piazza was. His lifetime numbers are off the charts. His lifetime numbers are better than Bench's.
427 home runs. 308 batting average. Wow. 308 batting average. Wow.
Yeah, lifetime. That's crazy, right, for a catcher. I think his defense kind of knocks him down a little bit. How could you put him best catcher? Because his defense, I don't think was good, really. Errors and the war.
Well, he caught. He managed that team that went to the World Series with the Mets. You mean Piazza as a catcher? You mean?
As a catcher, right? Just as a pure catcher. I'm saying he wasn't a great defensive catcher.
Yeah, I don't remember if was he good. Maybe he came up and he was kind of sketchy, right? Then he had that Gary Sanchez thing. He had to kind of work his way.
Yeah, he might have got better, but I think overall he's a little shaky, But that's why he's not the best catcher ever because of that. But hitting-wise, he might be the best hitting catcher ever.
Maybe. Well, then of course, we talked about Johnny Bench, 68 Rookie of the Year, 2-time NL MVP, 10-time Gold Glove winner, 14-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, and still famous today with Blue Emu. That's the commercials.
Oh yeah, right. Well, he had the marquee. He was the marquee guy, in our day. He had the look. He had that solid frame. He had the great throw to second. The way he squatted behind
he had
the plate.
a great throw to second.
He had the whole thing going. Yeah. That rocket right on the line.
Yeah, he threw lasers.
Yeah. He stood straight up, right, and just rocketed it down there. And he's on the big red machine. You got to hand it to Johnny Bench. He's synonymous with greatness. You hear that name. That's
so we're putting Thurman. We're putting Thurman in the top 25 of all time.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget Josh Gibson. Yeah. Josh Gibson. Negro National League 359 hitter. Right. He was dubbed the Black Babe Ruth.
He was never in the MLB, but he was in the Negro League.
This is baseball's baseball. Gary Carter. Right. So Roy Campanella was another good one, right? Played for the Brooklyn Dodgers.
He was great. Yeah, he actually had the accident. He didn't play that long either, so his lifetime numbers are like Munson. And he got in. If you look at his stats and Munson's, they were close. But Campanella gets in, no questions asked. Then with Munson, he didn't play enough, and died too soon. It's like the same with Campanella, even though I believe Campanella should obviously be in. So that's a good comparison on why Munson should be in. Check his stats out, anyone that's listening, with Campanella's. And, they play like the exact amount of years and the exact amount of at-bats.
Absolutely.
There you go, right?
Campanella.
Thank you.
Start an argument. And let's start an argument in a barber shop over Campanella.
Well, I think he should be in. I'm pro Campanella.
You're pro Campanella?
I'm pro Campanella, yeah. Yeah, I think he should be in. Yeah. That's my argument for getting Munson in. I'm pro.
All right, well, we're going to be sending this show to
what's the argument? I'm going Berra over Campanella, so maybe that's the barbershop argument.
Well, with our popularity now in Lithuania and India, I'm sure there's going to be people talking about this.
I can't believe we're getting audiences over there.
All over.
That's a big population. If they start talking about this, man, you're going to be a hit over there. I mean, there's billions of people in India.
I'm going to meet Putin pretty soon. You kidding me? I'm blowing.
Let's have him on to talk about baseball.
Vladimir.
Yeah, well, we have to talk about hockey. You think he's a hockey player,
I got to talk
right?
hockey.
Yeah.
I'll talk archery with. Does he like to ride horses?
That's true. Right? Maybe you could talk horses. Yeah, like cowboy movies or something. But this is great. I love talking about this stuff. Catchers.
Yes, we're talking about. Then of course we talk about Carlton Fisk. You hate it. I hate it. We didn't hate him as much when he went to the White Sox, but we still kind of hated him a little bit. He caught Tom Seaver there for a while, right? He caught Seaver.
Yeah.
His longevity in the league is right. He played a quarter century, 25 years.
Hey, we got to pay tribute. We got to pay tribute. Tom Seaver passes away a few days ago on this recording. So he was. What do you think of him?
I remember watching the game as a child in my house when he pitched against. It was the church fair, St. Aloysius, and he was pitching against the Chicago Cubs, and I thought he was going to have the perfect game, and he got Jimmy Quails got that looping hit, remember?
Oh, yeah, you actually watched that game.
I remember watching it, and I was excited because I didn't want him to pitch a no-hitter because that's the type of kid I was. I was anti...
So you're about to see history. Wait a minute.
I didn't want to see it.
And you're rooting against the no-hitter.
Absolutely. I rooted against him because that's the type of guy I was and kind of still am. Prove it.
You're going to... What's the word? You want to break it up? You're the breakup guy, right? You want to smash.
Well, now speaking of Seaver, let me ask you a question. You remember the big trade when M. Donald Grant? I don't know why I remember this. I just traded Seaver to the Reds for 5 players.
Right.
Who were the 5 players? Where's my sound effect?
You know what? My mind's a blank. My mind is a blank.
What? I'll help you out a little bit. Ready?
Yeah.
Stevie
Henderson,
Wonder. Steve Henderson. I called him Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. He was the marquee guy.
See, now Bullseye remembers this now. This is things pop in and out of Bullseye's head here. I forgot more than I know though. Doug Flynn, second baseman.
Oh, he was okay. Yeah, he was a bum. Okay,
he was a bum. Pat Zachary. Remember Pat Zachary?
Okay, yeah, he was all right, I guess. Right, he was a pitcher. Yeah.
He was a pitcher. Help me, intern. I just forgot. I'll think of it in a second.
Probably unknown guys. The other two are probably unknown.
Center fielder. All right, so here we go. We're going to do the how many? See, now the intern would have been all over this. How many players? Pretty good, though, right? For Tom Seaver.
Not bad, dude. Better than me. I didn't get any of them.
Doug Flynn and the I know. I can't.
What are you doing?
And the Mets
going off beeps.
No beeps. There's no beeps.
Maybe that was me.
No
okay,
beeps. Tom Terrific. Cincinnati Reds struck out. Why did Tom Seaver leave the Mets? Boys, is exciting. The Mets claim Seaver for the Bing. Who caught Tom Seaver's no-hitter? Is Tom Seaver married? Yes. How many 69 Mets are still alive? I'm trying to find out. What was I looking for? I forgot.
We're talking about catches.
What was I looking for? I got confused.
We started with catches. You were talking about I don't even know what.
All right. Well, there was 2 other players, and we'll look it up. But those are the 3, and that was it. Tom Seaver, and he's gone. Sorry to say.
Yeah. Sad day
I remember when he used to
sports
pitch,
fans,
he used to
fans.
scrape his knee. Remember his knee was always dirty?
Yeah, they paid honor, a tribute to him. Right? All the players had the dirt on their right knee.
Yeah, so we have great.
I like that.
Yeah, we have great memories of Seaver, and time goes by quick. I remember Tug McGraw.
I wish he was on the Yankees.
Yes.
in '76.
Well, he was an announcer for the Yankees for a while, so he's almost part of the Yankee team.
He was. Yeah, he was part of them. Yeah, he was a good announcer, right? He seemed pretty solid.
Him and Rizzuto had that repertoire back and forth.
They had a good little thing going.
Seaver, right?
Yeah.
Seaver.
Call everybody by the last name, right?
Hey, you know what time it is? You know what time it is? You know what time it is?
Are we up to the 30 minutes? You don't go second over, right?
Well, things are looking good.
Great.
We're going to pick up a few countries.
Right.
We're going to pick up a few countries.
Get a couple more, man. Get the
We're
East
going
Block,
for
get the West
Albania.
Block.
I'm going for Albania.
South America. Let's get some South American countries.
Oh, absolutely. I want Brazil.
They play baseball down there,
I
right?
want to go to Brazil. I want to celebrate. I want downloads. And remember, the best.
Cancun.
Hey,
Go
the
to
best
Cancun.
is